realignment of supply chains, green transition, and advances in technology offer new opportunities for investment and growth. But policies would need to create the congenial climate for attracting new private investment, with public sector taking the lead in areas that can create positive externalities such as infrastructure, health, and education. In this context, let me highlight, particularly in the context of raising productivity and what I have just said, in this context, let me highlight some specific areas of policy priority. First, undertaking desirable structural change would require an improvement in resource allocation, moving production from low productive sectors to high productive sectors, and promotion of innovation. Second, skill mismatches, which is a major constraint to resource reallocation, would warrant policy focus on education and skill upgradation. This is particularly important to the South Asian region, as the favorable demography of the region would require that production processes must be labor intensive while also being globally competitive. Third, while free trade and FDI have been conventionally congenial for diffusion of technology and augmentation of productivity, the region's investment on research and development must also increase from the current low levels, and the policy environment for scientific research and startups must be made more rewarding. Fourth, investment in physical infrastructure consisting of energy, transportation, and telecommunication, which are prime drivers of productivity growth, also have to be enhanced. Infrastructure in the contemporary world of digital revolution would also include digital infrastructure, that is data centers, cellular towers, and fiber connectivity, with an emphasis on scalability and resilience. Fintech, e-commerce, edtech, health tech, and food tech are the new age growth propellers and need quality internet connectivity and reliable digital payment systems. I now turn to the fourth area of policy priority, and that is strengthening cooperation for energy security. The South Asian region has a high reliance on fossil fuels and imported energy, making the region vulnerable to volatile oil, gas, and coal prices. In view of the dominating influence of geopolitical factors in driving global energy market dynamics, the region needs to strengthen energy cooperation arrangements so as to enhance resilience to external shocks. India and Bangladesh have already agreed to enhance the sub-regional connectivity in the energy sector by linking the power grids of the two countries synchronously. The India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline project, which is a 130-kilometer pipeline joining Siliguri in West Bengal and Parbatipur in Bangladesh, would have a capacity to export petroleum products of 1 million metric tons per annum. Other examples of cooperation include transportation of petroleum, oil, and lubricants across national jurisdictions. Similarly, cross-border petroleum product pipeline and joint venture hydroelectric projects are testimony to the immense scope for energy cooperation in the South Asian region. Harmonization of testing processes, performance and conservation standards, and labeling criteria for electrical appliances in the region can contribute to regional energy security by promoting cost savings and by boosting efficiency and trade. Integration of national power systems in the region could facilitate leveraging of untapped surplus hydropower while also giving fillip to development of solar and wind resources. Programs of bulk procurement and distribution of energy efficient appliances can be adopted by countries in the region. India, for example, has the Ujala scheme for distribution of LED bulbs at an affordable price. The next area, which is I think the fifth area of policy priority, is cooperation for greener economy in the region. South Asia is one of the most vulnerable regions to climate change because of its large population and degradation of natural resources. Extreme climate events, that is floods, droughts, heat waves, and unseasonal rains have increased over the past century. As per estimates of the International Financial Corporation IFC, between 2018 and 2030, the funding requirements for investment in renewable energy, greening the vehicle fleet, and making future building stock green and resilient to climate change risks in South Asia alone would be over $410 billion, 670 billion, and 1.3 trillion respectively. I mean, I mentioned the three components, and these are the investments required in the three components, and the three components are funding requirements for investment in renewable energy, 1, greening the vehicle fleet, and that is number 2, and making future building stock green and resilient to climate change. This is the third component, and the funding requirements have been mentioned. Besides financing, access to technology and key minerals would also be critical for successful green transition. Robust regional disaster management systems could help in ensuring timely and effective response to devastating climate events. India spearheaded the global initiative and launched a Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, CDRI, in 2019. Another initiative, the International Solar Alliance, in partnership with the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, aims at solarizing the world. The South Asian regions must strengthen cooperation to make green transition in the region faster and at reasonable cost. And finally, the sixth area of policy priority for this region, I feel, should be promotion of tourism, which has immense potential in this region. Now, tourism is one of the major contributors to the GDP of some of the South Asian nations, such as Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. As a sector, tourism, as all of us know, is a huge creator of employment. The entire region has rich untapped potential in tourism. In recent period, the tourism sector has somewhat revived in the region, but is yet to reach the pre-pandemic levels, that is the pre-COVID levels. Intra-regional tourist flows also remain below potential. It has revived, but I think it has a way to go. Regional initiatives such as religious tourism circuits spanning countries that have common historical and cultural footprint, adventure tourism circuits, and medical, spiritual, or Ayurveda circuits can help boost tourism industry and create a vibrant regional value chain. Let me now try and conclude. With the global trade outlook for 2023 overcast, greater intra-regional trade in the South Asian region can enhance opportunities for growth and employment in this region. At the central bank level, a key dimension for cooperation in the region has been learning from each other on common goals and challenges, such as infrastructure financing, digital financial inclusion, reducing the cost of cross-border remittances by linking with the UPI system, and unconventional monetary policy, to name a few. Rupee settlement of cross-border trade and central bank digital currency, where the Reserve Bank of India has already started moving forward, can also be areas of greater cooperation in the future. Finally, let me just say that the book to be released today provides plenty of new ideas for forging cooperation in the region and seeking solutions to common problems through right policy interventions. I appreciate the efforts of the authors whose contributions have made this book possible. I do believe that the discussions during the day on policy choices will help us in reshaping the future prospects of the South Asian region. I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your hearing.